Hey everybody, great to have you back here in the fish tank. It's tournament time again. This is my Fishbowl Brawl for November, I guess it is. And so this is going to be the semi-final, which is Dark Crow against Aristokrat. In the the first semi-final, we've got Set against Vickers. So look out for a link somewhere for that video if you haven't seen that one already. But today we're going to see Dark Crow against Aristokrat. Of course, this is the last of the events for Minion Masters 1. Whatever. Because Minion Masters 2.0 is going to be launching so soon. We've got December the 12th as the launch date for the Minion Masters 2.0 prologue, which is going to be all Xbox players and Steam players going across to the new platform, and we can check it out, get involved, and start enjoying the updates, and of course give our feedback to see what are things that we like, what do we don't, and help develop the product as we go on. Now, interestingly, when 2.0 launches, we will have some proper cross-play lobbies, which means Xbox players, Steam players, and eventually mobile players can all get involved in the same lobbies, whether that's playing against each other in competitive games or playing with each other in pre-mades. That should be possible, so that means we should be able to have cross-platform tournaments going forward. Lots to discuss about that in the future, but we'll leave that for another day. Today we're going to concentrate on Dark Crow against Aristokrat. Aristokrat, I'm not sure how long he's been playing Minions for, but I think he's a newer player, maybe. But he's been doing really well. I've played against him quite a few times on a ladder. Really good player. He's already beaten Ficus and Westlin in this event to get to the final four. And his reward is a semi-final against the mighty Dark Crow. Dark Crow is the reigning champion in this event, so it's going to be very difficult for Aristokrat, but not necessarily impossible. Now, the first thing we need to look at is the card bans. As always, the players can ban a master and 3 cards to prevent their opponents from playing those, and their opponent has that ban power back at them. So we can see Dark Crow banning Wrecked. Bounce-Free Flingers, pretty meta, strong unit, and of course, the main reason for playing the Bounce-Free Flingers is to get that Shroom, and you generally see that with the Blue Golem, stuff like that. So that shuts down that strat. Zeppelin Bomber is quite a powerful unit in the meta at the moment. And of course, High Inquisitor Ardera, very powerful. I've played against quite a lot of these Ardera Empyrean decks on the ladder, and they can be very difficult to deal with. You need to have very specific counters. You need to play it perfectly, or you just get horrifically punished. I feel like Ardera is not a particularly healthy card. We see her banned a lot in events. I would like to see some kind of rework to her. But anyway, also banned by Aristokrat is King Puff. King Puff's strong in the meta at the moment, but more of a 2v2 master. But Dark Crow very strong with King Puff. But of course, Dark Crow very strong with everything. And we also see Reboomer, Chain Lightning, and Skritillery banned by Aristokrat. Right, so those are the bans. Let's get in to the action. Okay, here we go with game 1. This is best of 5. Conquest rules, win with a master, can't play that master anymore. Okay, Wrecked against Setsu. Dual decks up. Okay, Aristokrat playing what looks like a Westlin deck. Remember, he did beat Westlin earlier in the event. Setsu and Mana Puff Madness. That smells like a Westlin deck. Is there going to be a Zali? Let's find out. And as mentioned, Dark Crow did ban the Bounce-Free Flingers, but that means he can play it. And as we see, he does have the Bounce-Free Flingers and the Blue Golem in there. Yep, the Azali is there. Now, Mana Puff Madness, Azali can be very difficult to deal with. But it's one of those decks that Westlin is incredible with, but a lot of other people just can't play it like Westlin does. Nice Shock Rock, trying to keep the Chisma Boomstick alive as it was running away. Didn't quite work out ultimately, but this Golem's going to do a lot of face damage. Going to get shut down eventually, but it's going to take a while, and it's going to be pounding away on Aristokrat's base. Blood Imps are out. Doesn't have any huge way of punishing them at the moment. Iron Grenade is not a great way of punishing Blood Imps, but look how much face damage this Golem did, plus the support. Aristokrat is down to just over 200 HP, and this is almost game over already. But we know that the Mana Puff Madness strats can just suddenly get out of control. Let's see if that's something that he can do. But you do need to play it at the right time, and it's difficult to play it if you're on the defensive. Shock Rock just wasted there. He needs all his mana possible. Sets is going to go down here. And we've got a decent XP lead for Darkrow, getting to perk 2 already. And Aristokrat can't really afford to take any face damage here. Not great face damage spells from Darkrow. Does have the Impetus Blast to do a little tickle and the Iron Grenade. But how does he deal with this Golem? We saw the first push. Basically, he didn't deal with that. Beautiful Impetus Blast. Azali goes down. And these Mana Puff Madness decks, sometimes they can win real hard, but other times they can die badly. And they're dying badly this time. Darkrow takes the first in this best of 5. 1-0 to Darkrow. Okay, here we go with game 2. Darkrow Diona, Aristokrat playing Apep. Dynasty Diona for Darkrow, rarest skin in the game. Tournament winners only. Right. Double futures from Aristokrat here. Future past has been used. Future present will be coming up soon. But he's playing a late game deck. Futures will pay off as the game goes on. A lot of mana being invested into that strat. Darkrow playing far more aggro. We saw that blue golem, how devastating it was earlier. Now that Snake Druid that he gets from the future could be very useful here. He gets a chance, but he doesn't want to hold on to it. The futures you want to play as soon as possible, cycle through to the next one, and again keep cycling, because of course every time you use it you're getting a reduced cost card, so you want that as often as possible. But he probably knows that Darkrow's going to have the golem again, so he wants to maybe hold on to that Snake Druid, but that's just really awkward because he doesn't want to hold on to it for too long. He's just going to be playing against his own strat. Okay, there we see, as soon as that was played at the bottom, Darkrow grabs the golem, goes on the top lane. Wants to stay away from that. Well, that trap killing the Snake Druid was a nice little bonus there for Darkrow. Okay, that turret's going to be great for Aristokrat though. Thorn Trap's going to keep it off of the target of choice for a while. Okay, Golem's still alive. And that Golem, even with a sliver of HP, can be an absolute terror. Big XP for Darkrow when we talk about the lead here. And again, that Golem's still wailing away, getting some value. The longer the game goes on, you would think that the futures will start bringing Aristokrat back into it, but he needs to not be too far behind, and at the moment, he is a long way behind. It's a lot of mana at the bottom there to keep that bridge. Could have done that, I think, more efficiently. I don't think he could have waited for the units to get over and then just use the Screaming Scrat and not use the Bear Avalanche. Would have cost him a little bit of XP, but would have saved him the 4 mana for the Bear Avalanche. Right. So the biggest interaction that Darkrow needs to manage correctly is this laser turret. Because if it's left to its own devices, it will shred everything. And look at the value it's got here. It's killed the ATG drone, it kills the buffed golem. And I think Darkrow was hoping the ATG drone would get onto it, do some damage, and shut it down, but it didn't work out. And now suddenly, Aristokrat getting a little bit of value, where previously he didn't. Dormant Defenders are going to be kind of awkward. Not a huge fan again of that Bear Avalanche. It does clear it, but again, he has to spend more mana to take the bridge. Dormant Defenders are going to be awkward because he needs to wait, save up his mana. Because obviously you want to get them activated as soon as possible. You've got to get to that 6 mana mark. But when you're contesting the bridges, trying to cycle as quickly as possible, it's really awkward. We've seen a couple of instances where he's held on to those future cards way longer than he would have liked. Again, Bearavalanche at the top, but the bridge remains blue, and these interactions are just not helping him when it comes to the XP lead that Darkrow has. I feel like he's just got to bite the bullet here. He's got to save up, got to get the Dormant Defenders down, got to try to get some value out of them. Right, there we go. Hits Mana Frenzy, the Dormant Defenders are active. Remember, they once they're active, they stay active now, not like before where they would drop off. Nice stun. Right, still a big XP lead, but it's not over yet for sure. A little hopeful with the Succubus at the top, but it does survive. Trap does almost kill the turret, which is going to be really helpful. Let's have a look at the XP. 30 XP behind. Less, kind of a little less than that. As we expected, Aristokrat is coming back with the power of the futures. Don't like playing this into the Snake Druid. I feel like Snake Druid was already there. That felt like a mistake because the Snake Druid can just neutralize that entirely. Not sure if the Golem was there either as well, but those are two things that he really would like to not play into with that. Definitely need to look at that back to see the order that the units were played in. Right, Mana Frenzy is close for Darkrow. He's taken some damage, but that's not too much of an issue for him. Again, the Bearavalanche, but like it's not really doing too much. Could have tanked at the bottom there with the shield. Maybe he wants to hold the shield to deal with the ATG drone, but I feel like that was maybe a little bit of a misplay there. Right, Mana Frenzy for Darkrow. You expect that he should be able to close this out, especially with the turret having to be played so defensively. That's not going to help out with the bridges at all right now. The Bearavalanche barely tickling that Golem. It will slow it, but it's still going to be a huge XP, sorry, a huge HP sink that needs to be dealt with. And suddenly when we get two Golems up, that's going to be a problem. Right, looks like Darkrow's going to take a 2-game-0 lead here. Aristokrat just fell too far behind early game. Started coming back as you would expect with APEP futures. Too far behind. And it's Darkrow 2, Aristokrat 0. Okay, here we go with game 3. Is Darkrow going to close this out 3-0, or can Aristokrat start the comeback? The potential start of the reverse sweep. Let's find out. Right, Azali for Darkrow, playing Morelia. Ravager for Aristokrat. So, very aggro deck from Aristokrat here. How does Darkrow deal with it? Let's find out. Wants those to get through to face. Right, here comes the Rammer. Does have some good DPS to shut that down. The air units could be a problem for him. Okay, they are not real, most of them. So they get shut down. Darkrow does take the early XP lead. Right, here comes Brutus. And Aristokrat makes something happen with the Brutus. Right. I can never remember which one is real to start with the Rammer or the... Okay, the first one is real. Nice fireball there. This is going to be a lot of damage. Everything Rage from Morgrul's Ragers. We're going to see Azali's going to die pretty quickly. And Darkrow's running out of HP here. This is a lot of damage. Aristocrat's fighting back. This is game on. 1 minute 26 seconds on the clock. 2 games to 1 is now the score. Here we go with game 4. Is Aristocrat going to force a decider, or is Darkrow going to force his way into the grand final? Let's find out. Right, Apep against Morelia. Both players just chilling and spawning. Right. A chilled early start. Bats trying to put some pressure on, tanking some hits. Didn't really get much DPS out, but look at the Bounceberry Flinger. The bounce of that attack is hugely powerful at times. Okay, here comes the Battle Monkey with the Jing push. Radic at the top. Okay, Cleaver's going to just absolutely shut that down. Okay, Radic trying to jump around, stay alive. Does do. Nicely done. Now he's going to support the Cleaver. He gets away from the Shen, but the Shen does need to be dealt with at the top. Let's see how he can deal with this. Right, bit of face damage on Darkrow. Not too much though. Couple of Cleaver hits. Radic, of course, does do reduced face damage, so that's kind of, if you're defending against Radic, you want him on your face, not clearing your defense. An XP lead here for Ficus. Sorry, Aristocrat. Ficus on the mind. But looks like Darkrow can start pushing back. He's got a decent amount of units on the field. Those bats can be annoying, jumping on things in the pocket, but they do get shut down. The taunt from the Morgul's Mark, though, pulls the Battle Monkey into the pocket to clear the ATG drone. And that's the meat of Aristocrat's DPS defense removed. Battle Monkey, of course, needs to be handled carefully. You don't want to play those horde units around it. Make it go crazy. Its DPS, when it's fully buffed, is terrifying. Still, Aristocrat has a good XP lead here. Yeah, I thought he might have tanked that Cleaver hit with the heal path. Health, as always, is a resource. Morelia can heal, Apep can shield, so not too terrifying. But let's see what value can Riddick get here. Put him Riddick, Radic. Rumor has it he can see in the dark. Okay, still a decent XP lead for Aristocrat, but we know if it goes late game, Apep's going to be favoured. Let's see what the Percree Morelia Dragon can achieve. That's nice. Keeps that bridge alive. Good heal. Kills the Jing as well, which hasn't been too impactful, but always nice to remove it because it can make the defense a little bit awkward. Here comes the Shen Shock Stick. Is there enough to kill it? Yes, there is. Shen lives. Shen needs to be shut down here. Rama does that. Aristocrat under 500 HP, so really needs to start being careful. That Sewer Scratch, such a nice pull from Apep against the Cleaver. Tanks the 2 hits, effectively for nothing. Right, again, here comes the heal. Needs to be careful. He's played this into the Curse Bearer. I feel like the Curse Bearer was already there. I don't like that because, you know, the dragon has incredible staying power unless it gets cursed, and that's what it got. The Curse Bearer is not going to be alive for too long, but comes the next one. Is that just from the cycle, or is that That must be... He pulled a Curse Bearer from his perk 3, so he got kind of lucky there. Curse Bearer is going to die soon, but there's another one waiting in the wings. So Darkrai getting lucky with some RNG there. Still XP lead for Aristokrat, but the Dragon has come and gone. Didn't really do too much. The 7 Curse Bearers really were just a little bit too much for it to deal with. Doesn't want this Shen to start DPSing on face because he is low. And once you get very low, of course, Shen's Shot Stick can start putting on a lot of pressure. We should see Aristokrat healing soon. Spellbook in 4 seconds. Right, Spellbook's coming up next. What does he do here? He's going to have to... Okay, that's a good heal. Double heal. Battle Monkey still lives, though. XP still in Aristokrat's favour. Remember, if he takes this, he forces the Decider. If Darkrai takes it, he's in the grand final. That's being a bit of a pain. Aristokrat, very low HP. He's going to have to divert his Spellbook to healing and needs to not make any mistakes with that. The Shen has been quite problematic, though. He's got a Morgul's Mark in the pocket here. Gets some good face damage as well, and that's enough. I'm not sure. I think Shen hit face there on the stunned face. No, sorry, not 2-2. It's 3 games to 1. Darkrai has been victorious. And I think the Shen Shock Stick had the tower stunned, and Shen ran out of targets, spun round, and just DPS'd the tower and closed that game out. Right! Darkrai is into the grand final. He's beaten Aristokrat by 3 games to 1 here. Remember, the other semi-final is set against Ficus, so Darkrai will play the winner of that in the final. So if you want to see that, make sure you look out for links or notifications. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here for the Fish Tank so you don't miss out on anything Minion Masters related. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave whatever you want to leave in the comments. Always good to hear you. Engage the algorithm, as they say. And of course, a reminder, Minion Masters 2.0 is coming very, very soon. December the 12th. It may already be here by the time you're watching this. Who knows? So very exciting to see how that changes things with the game, and of course how it changes things with the tournaments. If you're interested in getting involved in the tournaments, check out the links in the description for all of the upcoming events. They are open to everyone. Prizes for all. Very, very friendly and accessible to players of all ability. Really excited to see you there. But that's pretty much all we wanted to see here. Darkrai beating Aristokrat by 3 games to 1. I'll see you again soon here in the Fish Tank. And as always, I'm awkwardly waving.